The road to the 2020 Kentucky Derby continues, and this time we go to Tampa Bay for the Sam F. Davis. This is the local prep at Tampa Bay for the Tampa Bay Derby. 8-horse field, and we have the 6-5 favorite Independence Hall as the most likely betting choice on Saturday. Let's take a look at this field from the rail, and it does have a good couple of contenders here that I think some people, if you want to take a shot against the favorite, or if you're not quite sold yet on Independence Hall's capabilities after the Jerome Stakes, Adjoweed is ridden by Joel Rosario, and he comes up off a runner-up effort in the Remsen Stakes. And that was a nice effort because the track flow favored speed, favored horses close to the front that day. Lake Avenue went wire to wire. Then we saw Maximum Security go wire to wire. Spun to Run ran second all the way around. And then we saw Shotsky go wire to wire. He came back and suffered a little bit this last week in the Withers when he didn't have that race flow and speed bias kind of to his advantage. So Adjoweed definitely ran against the bias the last time. He is capable of showing more speed, but I do think we're going to see some fast fractions in this race, and Adjoweed is probably going to be 8 or 9 lengths out of it at this field. Class-wise, he fits. It's only his 5th lifetime start, so he definitely can improve a little bit off his Brisnet speed figure of 98 in his most recent race. Out of the 2-hole, we've got Solo Volante, who went to the dirt to the last time and ran in a key race with Chance It, and as seen on TV, they set some fast fractions, so it didn't look like he really had an impact in the stretch, but those two did not stop running, and they ran all the way as a pair to the wire, and that really spread out the field. I think actually Solo Volante would have made a move if that speed would have came back a little bit to the field that day. 8-1 on Solo Volante for the Snake Juice. Meanwhile, Albert Park goes for Godolphin Racing, another one with good breeding, street sense out of an AP Indy mare. And Michael Stidham trains this one. Definitely a horseman who is capable of coming up and picking up a stakes race like the Sam F. Davis. Right now, his Brisnet speed figures are a little bit on the slower side compared to the other main contenders in this race. Independence Hall is the 4-horse. He is your 6-5 favorite, the fastest speed figure as a 2-year-old of this entire crop. That was in the Nashua Stakes, and he did it at 10-1 that day. Big field, went out and drew away from the field and won with a 101 Brisnet speed figure. Came back with a 94 in the Jerome Stakes, but the competition was low that day, and he did just what he needed to do. He is the type that can get a little bit worked up before the race, so you may want to watch that if you're watching the warm-ups or them in the paddock. But I thought it was a workman-like effort in the Jerome. I thought it was actually kind of nice. He broke a little bit slow, and it was really in-hand, push-button type horse. And those are the type of horses I like. I don't like the horses that get a little bit rank or that cannot be kind of wrestled back early and kind of pointed, point-and-shoot type horses. So I like those type of horses. Independence Hall, 6-5, most likely your favorite in the Sam F. Davis. No Getting Over Me, a long shot in the field. Best Brisnet speed figure is 83. He has to improve closer to that mid-90s to be competitive in a spot like this. I think he's kind of a toss from the win and exacta positions. Premier Star is another one who's going to take a lot of money on the tote board, undefeated in 2 efforts. Navarro trains this one, and the jockey is John Velasquez, ships in from Gulfstream Park. He was originally going to point for the Fountain of Youth. Now he's here against Independence Hall and the Sam F. Davis. This is a good spot for him. Both of his speed figures have been competitive. They will be competitive in this race, and if his 3rd lifetime start, he could improve and probably get a new lifetime speed figure. His pace figures give him just a slight edge over Independence Hall, and I think Premier Star is the horse that's going to be on the lead. Meanwhile, Tiz Ride Time regressed a little bit last time after the big victory 2 races back at Gulfstream Park. Another one with a later developing pedigree. I think he's still going to improve and definitely capable of doing better, especially with some wicked speed figures. I predict kind of a faster pace in this type of race. So Tiz Ride Time could be one that I use in exactas and trifectas. Rounding out the field, another well-bred horse called Chapelot going from Dirt to Dirt. He's also ran on the synthetic. Most recent race was at Woodbine. Good trainer in this one, and 4th lifetime start, both strong indicators for a possible lifetime Brisnet speed figure. to max out here in this race. He's a son of Flatter, so the dirt should not be a problem, and the distance should be right up his alley. His best race was probably his second race back when he ran on the turf at Keeneland and drew off to an 84 Brisnet speed figure in that race. The most likely favorite is Independence Hall. Don't forget, Kentucky Derby Future Wagering is offered this weekend. We've got videos. Just follow the link above. And we've got part 1 and part 2. The new shooters in part 1, the rest of the horses in part 2. And those pools open through Sunday. Smash that like button and don't forget, hit subscribe as we lead you and bell notifications all the way through the 2020 Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks. Who do you like in the Sam F. Davis? Independence Hall? Are you a Premier Star fan or do you like somebody else? Leave a comment below and hit subscribe. And we've also got recaps of last weekend's 3-year-old races also available for you to watch and kind of get some kind of sort out the madness from last weekend. The Sam F. Davis, 10 points to the winner on the road to the 2020 Kentucky Derby.